Once upon and midnight rarely, while I pondered weak and wearily over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, were I not nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as for some one gently rapping at my chamber door. This some visitor, I muttered, tapping at my chamber door, only this and nothing more. Ah, distinctly I remember it was in the black December, and each separate dying ember wrote its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcase of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rail and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here for evermore. And the silken, sad, and certain rustling of each purple curtain filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, this some visitor entreating in trance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating in trance at my chamber door. This is, and nothing more. Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. Sir, said I, oh madam, truly your forgiveness I implore, but in fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that His grace was sure I heard you. Here I open wide the door. Darkness there and nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, alone I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal even dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word Lenore. This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word Lenore, merely this and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning, so again I heard a tapping somewhat louder than before. Surely, said I, surely that is something, and my window lattice. Let me see then that this is, and this mystery explore. Let me see, let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind and nothing more. Open here, I flung the shutter, when with many a fleet and flutter in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore, not the least absents me here, not a minute's torpor stayed here, but with mane of laughter later, perched about my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas just above the chamber door, perched and sat and nothing more. Then these ebony birds beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the contents it were, though the crest be shorn and shaven, though I said I'd sure no craven, ghastly grim and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore, tell me what my lordly name is on the night's Platonian shore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Much I marvelled this ungainly fraud to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore, for they cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird about his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, which such name as nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing further than he utters, and not a further than he fluttered. till I scarcely more than muttered, all the friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said nevermore. Startled and stillness broken to reply so aptly spoken, doubtless said I, what it utters is it only stock and store, caught from the unhappy master whom a merciful disaster followed fast and followed faster till his lone one burden bore, till the dirges of the hope that melancholy burden bore of never, nevermore. But the raven still beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, straight I willed a caution seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to Lincoln, fancy into fancy, thinking that his owner's bird of yore